It's time to rise and shine. It's time to be about that business. It's time to understand that if you want to get something out of your life, you got to be willing to work for it. I'm talking to the one that wants to go beyond the limit. I'm talking to the one that is willing to work a little bit harder than the next man or the next woman. I'm talking to the one that's been through hell. I'm talking to the one that really wants to take it to that level that no one has ever been. When you step into that room, when you step into that environment, you got to be hungry enough to eat what is coming your way. You cannot be concerned about what can't be done. You need to be focused on what must be done. If you feel that you are not in a position to do it, then why show up in the first place? You got to understand that it takes grit, passion, and determination to get to the level of where you want to be.
There we go. Happy Wednesday, beautiful people. How y'all doing this morning? Listen, y'all giving the words of adoration first, so go ahead and think about it while I put my watch on. And go ahead and start typing it in there. All right, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. It is December the 6th, 2023, day 126 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. Another 5-year consecutive day count. It is day 1505. Today, we're going to switch this back around. We're going to start with the Holy Megillah first, right? We did that. I think I stopped doing that. When I switched back from reading the so-called John Lant pages, I started putting OWASP back in the beginning. I'm putting the Holy Megillah at the end. But since we've already read, and the whole reason for putting the Holy Megillah as the first part of the reading is because we had already completely read through the OWASP. And so that was going to be the second half while we read through it a second time, just to really go through it again, make sure we didn't miss anything the first time, right? So we're going to switch that back around, and we're going to start the readings off with the Holy Megillah, right? Or also known as the Secret Nazarite Scroll. And when we get done there, we'll read a chapter from OWASP, if time allows, right? Because if I adjust these days, it's going to be 14 years before we even finish the Holy Megillah if I cut these days down. So I'm just making little small adjustments, maybe cut the time down, make it concise in the morning. So instead of 1 hour, maybe 45 minutes, I'm just adjusting it little by little, see if I can do it that way. That way, my time in the morning for personal devotions, I'm not like rushing through that. If I give this a specific time and stick with it, I'm trying to adjust it there first before I just completely cut out days to see if that helps me balance my time just a little bit better, So, all right. Otherwise, we might have to go back to old school church on Sundays. Because Saturdays right now, at least for this next term, I definitely can't do Saturdays because I'm in class. Definitely cannot do Thursdays because I'm in class for the state program for the company. And some of the other days, the early mornings like today. Today is Wednesday, but we have a brand new big project on the base. And so I was late this morning trying to tighten up some last minute things for this project. And we even started after 6:30. So as our company is scaling up, It requires more of me. So I'm trying to really prioritize this and solidify, keep first things first, so business is not just running me all over the place. That's not really how I want to do life or business, right? I want to keep the most important things first: creator, hubby, family, then business. I'm trying to keep it in that order and keep things balanced, right? So when as a part of my devotion to the creator, I would share what I'm learning, right? So that's kind of up in the first parts of the morning. So bear with me while we are adjusting during this time of transition. All right, beautiful people. So we're going to read a little bit more. Anonymity. You know how much I practiced that word yesterday? We're going to start off in this chapter 47, the section after that whole debacle yesterday. And that's going to be on page 16. And then we'll read the next chapter, and which will be chapter 5 in the what's it 5? I'll look at it when I get there. But anyway, I'm just giving y'all time. Oh, I see it already. I see a couple people already put some things in there. So let me go ahead and say hey to everybody. Mom, shalom, shalom. Tiffany, peace and love, family. Kings and Queens coaching group coming to us live from Facebook and YouTube. Shalom. Joyce and Righteous, shalom, shalom. Tiffany says, my creator does all things well. I am grateful for the beauty of this life. I love that. My mom said, thank you, great creator, for a grand rising. Yes and amen. That's always a beautiful thing, right? All right, beautiful people, and everybody else here hanging out in the background. Happy Wednesday. So let's get rocking and rolling. Open up this secret Nazarite scroll, officially known as the Holy Megillah. Hold on, y'all. It is hot. I gotta turn this heat off. We'll switch on the AC. Whew. Okay. Anonymity. Okay, y'all. On page 616, after the whole anonymity part, right? It's the first meeting of Green Man and Sheba, verse 82. Green Man said, I was in a forest in Cush leading a group of hunters away from a fresh deer trail. So remember, these next, I think these 7, hold on. Oh, the 7 different times before Sheba and Green Man got married is going through each time they met. Okay. The first meeting of Green Man and Sheba. Green Man said, I was in a forest in Cush leading a group of hunters away from a fresh deer trail. The hunters did not see me. I was making sounds like a buck and leaving a trail that I hoped they would follow. For lo, I am still the prankster you have read about. I came upon a beautiful woman picking herbs beside a pond. I had no time to talk, yet felt called to greet her. But there was something about her that was more beautiful than even her body, which itself was truly beautiful. And so I said, hunters are coming this way, and I must lead them away from you. I have been leading them away from a deer, but before I go, may I ask your name? Sheba replied, not only may you ask, but I will answer. My name is Hanukkah, but I am also called Sheba. I tell those names to few in this world. Hearing the hunters nearby, Peter ran to lead them away from Sheba and the deer. When I returned, Sheba was gone, for lo, she had been called to an errand of mercy in a faraway land, for such was her oath to save the world. Abba, girl, shalom, shalom. Tabitha, you made it. Hey, girl. Hey, top of the day. On page 616 in the Holy Megillah, verse 99. The second meeting of Green Man and Sheba. Peter said, Sheba was running fast, faster than any other human has ever run, and with great stamina. She was on the scent of a kidnapper who had snatched a Nazarene child. The kidnapper had half a day lead, and so Sheba was in a great hurry. But as she ran through a sunny meadow, she saw me picking mushrooms for my supper. She slowed down and said, I am on a mission of mercy and cannot stop. But for 200 years, ever since you asked me my name, I have desired to confirm that I intuit your name correctly. Intuit, into it. It says into it. Into it. I have desired that I intuit your name correctly. For behold, my intuition tells me that you are the legendary Peter Greenman from the book of Isha. I replied, your intuition is true, but I am no more of a legend than you, Hanukkah, called Sheba. Before she turned to run fast again, she flashed me a smile so beautiful that I held it close to my heart until I again set eyes on Sheba. And then I confessed to Sheba what her smile meant to me. But that next meeting was 1,000 years in the future in a far distant land. For behold, neither Sheba nor Green Man lived in one particular land. We are in movement whenever we feel called to merciful acts of intervention, such as our oath to save this world. We move from continent to continent and know no boundaries. The third meeting of Green Man and Sheba. When I next saw Sheba, 1,000 years had passed. To Sheba and I, mortals, since the ancient days of this world, 1,000 years is not long as it would be for you. Even so, imagine missing someone for 1,000 years. When I saw her, she was bathing in a mountain pool. I entered the water and walked to her. She smiled as I approached. I said, dearest Sheba, it has been 1,000 years since I last saw your lovely smile. I mean, that long time would make you into the bath water of a naked bathing woman. She smiled as I approached. I said, dearest Sheba, it has been 1,000 years since I last saw your lovely smile, and for 1,000 years, your smile has graced the altar of the shrine of my memories. Sheba, still smiling, was about to reply when she inwardly heard a call for help and vanished in a flash of compassion. For she was bound by her oath to save the world. The fourth meeting of Green Man and Sheba. Hundreds of years passed. The next time I saw Sheba, she was married to a mortal. He was a great green wizard, and they were on their way to perform a merciful deed. In respect of that relationship, I said nothing of her. I said nothing of her still lovely smile. The fifth meeting of Green Man and Sheba. When next we met 100 years in the future, Sheba was again a widow. For such was our lot in life, blessed with eternal life ourselves, but occasionally falling in love with mortals. How sad to stay young while our mates aged. Only very rarely over the many centuries did we marry mortals, for our constant movement was not something that most mates could accept. We never had children with mortals because our lifestyle would not permit it. While Sheba was again single, I felt I must speak to her of my feelings. As usual, we met in rushed circumstances. I was running in one direction to save animals from a forest fire. She was running to another part of the world on her own worthy mission. Despite the circumstances, I made sure I told Sheba how I felt. I told her that it was my hope that one day she would be my wife. She smiled a smile that gave me reason to hope, but then she ran to perform her mission of mercy, and I ran to mine, for each of us was bound by our oaths to perform such deeds. The sixth meeting of Green Man and Sheba. I, Green Man, was sitting beside a pond. I heard a drowning bug calling for help. I was reaching for the bug when Sheba, on her way to deliver a baby, stopped at the pond. She had heard the bug's call for help. Seeing that this mission was already taken care of, Sheba said, Peter, Green Man, listen. My oath demands that I run now to help an injured woman deliver her baby. And every time we meet, our oaths keep us apart. For your oath demands that you run one way, my oath spins me in another direction. If I were to marry you, we would always be running in opposite directions. And then she was off running to deliver the baby. The seventh meeting of Green Man and Sheba. When next I met Sheba, though we were both in a hurry to do good in opposite directions, I asked straight out, will you marry me? Before she had time to answer, I explained. When last we spoke, you mentioned our oaths. For some year I have contemplated your words. Dear Sheba, I realize that you are right. We are each bound to an oath, and our oaths take us in different directions. But I also realize this. We can make a new oath, a marriage oath. You are the feminine span, and I of the masculine. We are always spinning opposite directions, both on worthy missions. I propose marriage. Sometimes you will accompany me on my task, and other times I will follow you. Most of the time, let us be together. Let us honor the spins of one another by weaving the spins into an ascending spiral co-dance, a co-mission of he and she in the form of a double helix. I don't know why this just made me think about something about me and my husband, but this is dope. I ain't even finished reading it yet. I'm just highlighting it all. Hold on. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Verse 157, 156. Dear Sheba, I realize that you are right. We are each bound to an oath, and our oaths take us in different directions. But I also realize this: we can make a new oath, a marriage oath. You are of the feminine span, and I of the masculine. We are always spinning opposite directions, both on worthy missions. I propose marriage. Sometimes you will accompany me on my task, and other times I will follow you. Most of the time, let us be together. Let us honor the spins of one another by weaving the spins into an ascending spiral co-dance, a co-mission of he and she in the form of a double helix. For is that not what Jaja has done? Are we not created in the image and likeness of Jaja, crowned in Yah? And are you not the woman who is going to warm my bed tonight and from now on? Oh, he's very confident of his proposal. He said, tonight. Hold on. Let me read it again. For is this not what Jaja has done? And are we not created in the image and likeness of Jaja, crowned in Yah? And are you not the woman who was going to warm my bed tonight and from now on? Sheba did not answer my proposal with words, not at first. Instead, she pulled me to her and kissed me on the lips passionately. We were married that day, and she warmed my bed that night. Go ahead, Peter Green man. He got his woman after 1,400 years. Listen, that's what you call patience, consistency, and determination. A lot of what marriages lack today. We could learn something from Peter Green man, right? And Sheba. Instead, she pulled me to her and kissed me on the lips passionately. We were married that day, and she warmed my bed that night. For neither of us wanted to risk getting pulled apart again. And since that day, 100 years ago, few have been the nights that we have been apart. The story I have just shared, this is good. Hold up. The story I have just shared is illustrative of the dance of the masculine and feminine. Many of you are new initiates of Shemesh and Shemaiah, and I ask you to reflect on the meaning of the name of your order. Reflect also on a new term, yin yang, YEN YANG, the yin and the yang. Reflect also on a new term, yin yang. Some of you have been to India. Beyond even India is China. And China was once a Nazarene sect called Tao, Tao or Tao, Tao, which means way. When I lived there, I was called Lao, Lao Zu, LAO TZU, Lao Zu, which means old man. I was there for long duration because a warlord slaughtered nearly all the Nazarenes and imprisoned me. After he came to know me, he moved me to a better room and often came to ask of my counsel. When he was an old man, he released me with one condition. Though he had burned all the copies of the Nazarene scriptures, he asked me to leave him a book without references to my Nazarene religion that would teach its way of life without what he called foreign deities. That is good, right? You know, I noticed some people, even in their teaching styles, like if you listen close, if you have any kind of spirituality about you, if somebody's teaching, okay, let me give an example. Sometimes I hear really savvy business people, they may be teaching other business people business principles, but I can clearly tell they have adopted those principles from the book of Proverbs, right? Because I'm very familiar with the book of Proverbs. I love it, right? It's still good. Even if I burn the rest of the Bible, I keep Proverbs, right? Listen, I can tell that they're teaching from the principles found there, and not just there, but because Proverbs in the Bible has been adopted from other manuscripts, but I'm just familiar with them just from reading the Bible, right? Some people, they don't like that because they feel like you need to give what's the word? You need to say where you got it from, right? Well, and they get mad because you don't use the name of Jesus while you're teaching these principles, right? You really don't have to use any kind of deities when you're teaching really good, solid principles for life. You don't have to hype it up by putting somebody's name on it. It's just the way of life here. It's the way you can move and operate in this realm without putting anybody's name on it or even subtracting it. Well, subtract, it's better a lot of times, I find, to just get people to listen. You have to remove the deities, all kind of things that get people into a religious mind, sort of feel like somebody trying to push them into religious bondage. You have to remove it so they can just see clearly and see the principles and how they operate, right? A lot of people get mad like, oh, you stole it from the Bible, you need to give God praise for that, or whatever they say. And that really gets under my skin because they still really lack a lot of wisdom. You know, they're good no matter if you use the name or not. But I found that it's really beneficial for people who don't want anything to do with religion, for you to be able to do that, pull the wisdom out of there and share it with them in a way that they can see, where they'll stay open and they can actually take these principles, use them, and apply it to their life. Not take advantage of it to take advantage of people. I mean, well, not to misuse them to take advantage of people, but it also helps to build character, let them know that you shouldn't take these wise sayings or these principles or just these good foundations in life. Don't take them to use them to boast of yourself and to make yourself seem bigger and better than what you really are, but really allow it to come into you first, develop your character so you can be an authentic person and you can really help people as you travel through life, right? And if you're in business, your business will thrive. If you're an employee of somebody, you'll be probably the highest paid, the go-to person, the one to depend on, just because of your character, right? And how you've allowed these principles to shape and mold your thinking, the way you carry yourself, your outlook, how you meditate, how you look at things, how you can see ahead, all of these things. So that's what he did right here, this guy. Jamia, hey guy, hey, hold on. Nazarene is saying, what's going on? Tiffany said, there is a book called The Wild Seed. This story reminds me of that book. The book is a bit more intense. I never heard of that. Jamia, hey girl, hey. Big Will. Oaths. Hold on. Taz Vortex, what's going on, fam? Yep, he did. He waited. Taoist. The Taoist. Did I say that word right? I sometimes be screwing up words. Nazarene is saying Taoist. Taoist. Y'all know what I mean? Okay. Hold on. When he was an old man, he released me with one condition. Though he had burned all the copies of the Nazarene scriptures, he asked me to leave him a book without references to my Nazarene religion that would teach its way of life without what he called foreign deities. I called the book The Way of Life. The Chinese term yin yang is used by Taoists to express what Nazarenes term Shemesh and Shemaiah. Both terms refer to the masculine and feminine polarities and imply a state of balance of opposites in movement, the dance of he and she. Similarly, the Sanskrit words for sun, ha, and moon, tha, are combined in the term hatha yoga. Did not know that. Hatha yoga. Y'all know I got a whole book, Hatha yoga. I showed it to y'all. Similarly, the Sanskrit words for sun, ha, and moon, tha, are combined in the term hatha yoga, which means sun-moon union and implies balance between the masculine and feminine polarities. Hatha yoga is the yoga of balance. On the exoteric level, hatha is balance of the body. In esoteric, hatha is the balance of the masculine and feminine, shemesh and shemaya. The Sanskrit word tantra, likewise, is the dance of the union of polarities, especially the masculine and feminine. And so shemesh and shemaya is Nazarene tantra. And it is Nazarene Taoism, and it is Nazarene Hatha. Blessed is he in the embrace of she. Blessed is she in the embrace of he, and blessed are we, the fruit of their seed. Specially blessed, I am to have the honor of being married to Sheba. Sheba is my Shemaiah, and Sheba is Shemaiah to my Shemesh. Now it is her turn to spin in the torchlight while I orbit in her. Now it is her turn to spin in the torchlight while I orbit her in the spiral dance that is our wedding vow made manifest. Now I will turn and spin around her in the alternating waves of the dance of Shemesh and Shemaiah. 7. Okay. And we're going to pause right there. That's the 7 meetings. So tomorrow we'll pick back up with verse 203. Page 619. Hanukkah begins tomorrow. I just saw it in my thing. Okay, y'all. We got a couple minutes, so let's pause right here. Hop on over here to a WASP. Elijah, what's going on? He said, peace, family. Praises be to Creator Iowa. Okay. And everybody else hanging out in the background. What's going on, fam? All right, so hop over here to chapter 4 on page 153 at the bottom. We're going to read this chapter and we're going to be out of here. It is 14 verses. Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. Did we read 4? Hold on. Iasu 3, Tucci, take that child away. Yeah, chapter 4. I'm sorry. Okay, chapter 4, page 153 at the bottom. When Soki, the king, issued a decree to have Zarathustra found and brought before him, otherwise all the When Soki the king issued the decree to have Zarathustra found and brought before him, otherwise all the male infants of Oaz to be slain, the Lords sent travail on the king's wife and on the king's daughter, wife of Asha, the philosopher, and the 2 women gave birth that same day to 2 sons, a month before their time, but nevertheless unto life and strength and beauty. Now, according to the laws of Oaz, a king could not rescind or change his own decrees, for he had assumed the position of infallibility, whereupon he had doomed to death kin of his kin, flesh of his flesh. Well, you got to be real stubborn something or other. So, like, I don't care if we related, kill them all. That includes my own kin. And they don't think, they just hot-headed and say stuff without thinking it through. Accordingly, after search had been made in vain to find Zarathustra, the king repented of his decree. But knew no way to justify a change of commandment. Asha, hearing of this, came out of concealment, saying to himself, now will I go to the king and hold him to his decree, even demanding that he slay me also. So Asha came before Soki, and after saluting him, said, O king, I have heard of thy strait, and I am come to thee that I may counsel thee. Absolutely not. Go put it back. No. You literally just open your eyes. You're not about to get a bowl of ice cream. Go put it back. Bye, little girl. Yes, it is. She wakes up, goes to the garage, and get the bucket of ice cream. Talking about ain't nothing to eat. How would I have ice cream in the house and not have other real food to eat? You think I'm just going ice cream shopping? Kids. Verse 3. The king was angry, and he said, Asha, my friend, hear thou thy king. Thou camest before me relating a marvelous story regarding an infant son of the virgin who said she never knew a man. Now, according to the laws of the city of the sun, any man stating for truth that which he cannot prove is already adjudged to death. Shall not the law be fulfilled, because forsooth thou art near me in blood? Asha said, most assuredly, O king, the laws must be carried out. Are they not the all highest? For it followeth that man, being the all highest person, his laws above all else must never be set aside. Therefore thou shalt have me slain. Think not that I am come before thee to plead an excuse in order to save myself. Rather let all men perish than that the king's decrees go amiss. The king said, thou art wise, O Asha. The laws cannot err, for they are the standard by which to judge all else. And he who hath risen to be king standeth by nature the infallible highest of all things. History hath proven this. But yet hear me, thou who hast wisdom from the movements of the sun and moon and stars. The king being the all highest, how can he be bound? Cannot he decree new decrees forever? Asha said, I will not deceive thee, O king. I know that thou art arguing not for me, but for thine own infant son, and for thy daughter's infant son. Neither have I come before thee in prowess, though I love life. But here is the matter. If thou change one law, thou admittest that all laws made by man may also need changing, which is to say, wisdom is folly. How then shall the judge judge any man by the laws? Is it not setting up error in order to find truth? The king said, thou reasonest well. Methought this morning in my walk to the market gardens, when the soldiers were spreading the scalps of their enemies in the sun to dry, whether or no in ages to come, the weaker nations and tribes of men might not attempt to justify their right to life. And were the kings to admit fallibility in their decrees and laws, no man can foresee the end, for even slaves and servants and women will rise up against the laws and claim their right to life, and did. Wherein then would the earth be large enough for all the people? Wherein then would the earth be large enough for all the people? Yet wherefore, O Asha, come this heartache. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Yet wherefore, O Asha, cometh this heartache of mine against killing my own son? Asha said, what are thy sympathies, O king? If thou wert to justify the escape of thy child's death for sympathy, would not my wife and my children justify their sympathy in desiring me to live? Nay, sympathy is the enemy of law and justice. It is the evil in our natures that crieth out for evil. The laws must be maintained. The decrees must be maintained. The king's word must be maintained. No man must suffer his judgment to go higher than the law, or the decree or the king. Asha said, this is the city of the sun. If this city goeth back on its own laws, what will not the tributaries do? What will not the tributary cities do? Will not they also begin to disrespect the laws or say, perhaps the laws are in error? This will come to anarchy. To one purpose only can a great city be maintained. To divide the purposes and judgments of men is to scatter to the four winds the glory of our civil liberty. Was it not disrespect of the laws combined with superstition that caused the nations of ancients to perish? The king said, what shall I do, O Asha? My son hath smiled in my face. You got to kill him, king. You got to kill him. That's the law. You wrote it. You said you God. Now you got to kill your own son. The king said, what shall I do, O Asha? My son hath smiled in my face. Asha said, thou shalt send me and thy son and thy daughter's son and all the male infants to the slaughter pen and have us all beheaded and cast into the fire. Asha is strong. I don't know that I'd be, I know he's trying to teach him a lesson. I don't know that I'd be the one to do that right off. Let me see y'all practice this, see how this turned out. Because if not, and they start, I'm out. Like y'all gonna have to catch me. Asha said, thou shalt send me and thy son and thy daughter's son and all the male infants to the slaughter pen and have us all beheaded and cast into the fire. Otherwise, it will come true what the infant Zarathustra hath said. Behold, my hand shall smite the city of Oaz, and it shall fall as a heap of straw. Think not, O king, I am superstitious and fear such threats, but this I perceive. Suffer the laws to be impeached, and every man in Oaz will set up to interpret the laws to be wrong and himself right. And thy officers will rebel against thee on all sides, and the glory of thy kingdom will perish. After the city had been searched for 30 days, and the virgin and child not found, the king appointed a day for the slaughter, according to his former decree, and there were 90,000 male infants adjudged to death, the king's son among the rest. While these matters were maturing, the Lord went to Chojan, and inspired him to make songs about Zarathustra, the infant that was stronger than a king, and also songs about the decree of death to the 90,000 infant sons of Oaz, and the beauty of the songs, together with the nature of these proceedings, caused the songs to be sung in the streets day and night, and the songs in satire approved of the horrors, so that even the king could not interdict the singing. And that is the end of chapter 4, and that is where we pause today. We have 43 minutes and 13 seconds, and we got to get out of here today. All right, beautiful people, that's it. I see y'all back here tomorrow. All right, it is Wednesday, December the 6th, 2023, day 126 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets, and of the 5-year consecutive day count. It is a 1,505. We read a few verses in chapter 47 of the Secret Nazarite Scroll, starting on page 614 all the way to 619. And then we read chapter 4 in the book of God's Word found in Old Winespan. With that being said, Father, thank you for teaching us a little bit more about the spin of the masculine and the feminine and the perfection of it all. All right, beautiful people, that's it for the day. All right, it's my turn. I did the spin on the men and women from the Holy Megillah. All right, beautiful people, that's it. I got to get out of here. Thank y'all for hanging out today. I'll see y'all back here tomorrow morning bright and early. Wait. Tomorrow's Thursday. I talked about this at the beginning. Hold on. I don't have to be there in person. We'll be here tomorrow. I'm gonna come tomorrow. Look, I be saying that, then at the last minute, I'm like, I can't make it. It's going to be cutting it too close. Let's do this. So let me just strike Thursdays from it. Like Thursdays and Saturdays, it's going to be an absolute no-go. Because I'm trying to stop myself from doing that rush and trying to squeeze stuff in. So I got to make better decisions because I want to make sure it get done. But that's how I find myself in trouble. I be putting too much on my plate. Not that y'all are too much, but I gotta be better. Like some things I just gotta say no. So we're gonna strike Thursdays away just like Saturday because I have to be in class, right? So and I really need that time to prepare because sometimes I gotta speak and we're just gonna strike Thursday. So I'll see y'all back here Friday, y'all. Let's do that. I'm gonna just go ahead and be a big girl and say we're gonna strike Thursdays from the list. All right, so I see y'all back here Friday morning at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love y'all. Thank y'all for understanding. We on this road of growth together, all right? I'm gonna eventually start bringing some of y'all in, like on the weekend, like I said before, like Sundays. That'll probably be the day, like when we go back to the weekends, if we do. We'll see, because as the weeks are piling up, we may have to just do the flip, right? Instead of doing the week, now we may have to go to the weekends, but that's not going to be at least one, because Saturday I got the terms in school. We'll talk about it. Y'all, I got to go. I love y'all. See y'all back here Friday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bruce.
But I see through you.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold, I've been far away. I'm
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eyes.
been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a cold sign.
What's happening? This isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is...
Dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a cold sign.
His heart rate is getting dangerously high.
He looks all right to me. You think that this material universe is all there is?
I don't need gravity, I need
What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? Existence, mind and matter meet. Thoughts shape reality.
I don't need gravity, I just need gold. I'm a fine line, yeah, I'm a mislead of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Some benevolent and life-giving, filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than time and waiting.
I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Who are you in this vast multiverse?
I don't need gravity, I just need gold. I don't need gravity, I just need gold.
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
I don't need gravity, I just need gold.
Teach me.
No.
I won't ever, ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.